So, as we all know, recently Lamelo Ball did fracture his wrist.
Took a fall here in the second quarter.
Right there, you see guys up to break their fall with their hands and the wrists. And that you're working on the wrist.
Now, while that injury was a shock to all of us, it definitely wasn't a shock to James Borrego, as Lamelo Ball was showing discomfort in his wrist the whole entire second half. He kept holding on to his wrist, but head coach James Borrego still continued to let him play in the fourth quarter while the Clippers were down by 20 and the game was over even when Lamelo Ball was injured. Why was head coach James Borrego still continuing to play Lamelo Ball even when he was clearly injured and was showing signs of discomfort? In today's video, we'll be discussing all about that and why it might have possibly ruined Lamelo Ball's rookie season, as maybe if Lamelo would have went to the locker room a little bit sooner and didn't play, he could have saved his wrist. And we do have a response from James Borrego asking the same question that I have to James Borrego. But before we get on to the video, please make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on those post notifications. You know, we're almost at 5,000 subscribers. We just hit 4,000, so you don't want to miss out. Like the video. And with all that being said, let's get right into the video. Lamelo Ball first started showing signs of discomfort of his wrist in the second half, especially the third quarter. Lamelo Ball kept grabbing onto the same wrist, and he even got it checked out on the bench. And James Borrego clearly knew this, as when James Borrego put him on in the fourth quarter, this is what happened. If there's one thing to notice out of those clips, is the fact that Lamelo Ball was playing with one hand basically. Lamelo Ball threw 2 passes with his left hand and they were still so accurate. There's no way that head coach James Borrego didn't notice that Lamelo Ball was clearly hurt. Why was head coach James Borrego still playing him after every single pass? Lamelo Ball was literally playing with one hand. He airballed a layup because he tried to go up with his right when it should have been a left hand layup. You guys saw it in all those clips. Clearly Lamelo Ball was running with one hand. You know, when he was running, his hand would literally be down. He wouldn't even be in the running motion. You know, James Borrego had to have noticed this, but why did he continue to keep playing him? You know, this honestly, you know, worsened Lamelo's injury, I believe, as if he would have went to the locker room a little bit sooner, maybe the doctors, you know, could have seen something and told him to stop. But no, this is why James Borrego is a little bit delusional, and I personally don't like him as a coach. Your player is clearly injured. Why are you risking him and playing him in a game when you're down 20? Like, that just makes no sense. Comment down below if you guys agree with me, because the Hornets were down by 20 points. Lamelo Ball has a hurt wrist, and guess what James Borrego decides to do? He still plays him in the fourth quarter, even though he's hurt, and, you know, James Borrego clearly knows something's happened. But now, let's hear what head coach James Borrego had to say, as a lot of people were furious about this, and when he was asked by a reporter. Roll the clip.
What exactly did you see on the play where he broke his wrist, and why did he stay in the game some after that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a normal, I mean, he fell just like, you know, it was a normal NBA play. You go to the rim, you fall, and, you know, guys get up 99% of the time, you know, and you move on, you go shoot your free throws or whatever it is. So as he was playing, he just looked like he was a little bit more uncomfortable, and, you know, he said he was okay to continue, and we did, you know, our due diligence and did the exam. And, but I think as I continued to watch him and he was favoring it more, we just decided to shut it down, you know, at that time. And, he's a tough kid. He wanted to continue to compete and play with his left hand and do those things. So, I think we made the right call there and pulled him. And, you know, at that point, we just knew we had to gather some more information with the MRI, and that's what happened yesterday.
Yeah, so that was the most delusional answer I've ever heard from a head coach in a long time. He clearly got, you know, kind of pressed and asked, you know, why was Lamelo continuing to play even when he knew he was clearly injured? And you guys heard the response. Borrego basically said that, you know, he knew he was hurt, but he didn't think much of it. That's why Borrego is such a bad head coach in my opinion. Your players clearly keep fiddling around with his wrist. He keeps looking at it. He literally got it checked out twice in the locker room. Why are you still continuing to play him? And he said that Lamelo Ball wanted to play and it was his choice. But no, you're the head coach of his team. LaMelo's obviously going to want to play. That's just his will. Obviously LaMelo, you know, being himself, he never wants to give up on play and quit. So Lamelo Ball was obviously going to say he wants to play. But it's your job as the head coach to step in and say, no, you're injured, you're not going to play, we need you for the playoffs, and you know, we're just going to have to sit you the rest of the game. But no, this is why James Borrego continues to make people mad, make people know why he doesn't deserve to be a head coach. If I was James Borrego in that situation, I would have subbed Lamelo Ball out as soon as he hit the floor on the first play where he showed discomfort in his wrist. I wouldn't let him play anymore because I wouldn't risk it. You're down by 20 points. Like, the Clippers were literally winning by 20 points, and James Borrego doesn't care about Lamelo's injury. He only wants the team. You know, he only cares about his little Devontae Graham and doesn't care about the actual Lamelo or the team. So, you know, like I said again, get in the comment section. Do you guys think that this worsened Lamelo's injury? I honestly think it did, because Lamelo Ball kept putting pressure on that wrist even when he was hurt, and that's why Borrego should have subbed him out. I know I'm getting kind of mad at Borrego, but honestly, this might have ruined Lamelo Ball's season and probably made his wrist a whole lot worse, as if he would have got subbed out a little earlier, there probably would have been, you know, more time to examine it and check it out. You know, this is just delusional stuff by Borrego, but I'm going to end this video off. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you guys agree with me? Am I right? Should Borrego have subbed him out earlier and not played him at all? Because, you know, Borrego's response was pretty dumb, you know. That was like no IQ in his response at all. But make sure to subscribe, like the video, and with all that being said, I'm out. Peace.